Free will is like two railroad tracks. This top one is going to be your will, which is basically what you want. And then we have another railroad track, which is God's track. Now, God's desire is that all men come to the knowledge of the truth. God's will is that all men would get saved because God doesn't want anyone going to hell, right? But the problem is that you can choose to overgo God's will. If God's will is for you to get saved and you're choosing not to get saved, then that's because you are rejecting his will. Human will and God's will, they are parallel railroad tracks. They go on and on and on, and they never cross. They never cross. They're parallel with each other. But what happens is that when let's say you get saved and you decide that you want to believe on the Lord, you know what happens? You decide to pull the switch on the railroad, and now you are on God's railroad track. So now God's will starts to intercede with yours because you're choosing to do what he wants. This is what will is, and that's it. So then yours is going to come down like this, and then it's going to come down like this, and then it goes that way. So now, as before you were saved, your human will was just parallel, straight line. His was a straight line. God says, all right, I want you to get saved. And you and your rebellious say, no, I don't want to get saved. I don't care about God, whatever. But then something happens to you. God opens your eyes and you change. And what happens is your railroad starts to come in towards God's straight railroad. And now you're merged with his. That's all it is. That's all free will is. So everybody's saying, oh, well, he predestinated somebody before the foundation of the world. Yeah, you're confused. If you want to overthrow God's will of eternally damning you to hell, just choose to get saved. Just get on his railroad. That's all it is, man.